The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. A chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
Last time I got his attention, he got angry enough to come after us with the blighted dragons. Hopefully this baits him into a mistake we can use against him.
Every act of resistance is a thorn in his side. He will break soon. When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. You work together with a camaraderie it took me centuries to build in my rebellion.
So what do we do next?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Okay. We always knew this was gonna be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this, or all of Thedas falls. So we see it through. All the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elganon or his archdemon.
The Crows may have something. The Antaam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antaam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the Crows, Lucanis?
They said the Antaam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Viago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antaam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Today could have gone better. But it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up, and be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
You've let the Antaam do whatever they want. They used comic on civilians. On your own people.
And how precisely would you have suggested I stop them?
Call on the Crows? Ask for our help?
So you can murder a few Antaam here and there, giving them an excuse to retaliate against even more citizens? We have enough trouble already, or have you forgotten the Blight?
I can't believe you're defending them.
I am not defending anyone, Jacobus.
You're letting them be a part of this? My cousin died because the governor didn't stop the Antaam from taking over.
Jacobus?
I'm fine. But I'm not going to be a part of this.
Well, now that unpleasantness is dealt with, about your mysterious informant.
Whoever they are, they know the Antaam and Treviso.
Your message made it sound like this informant also knows where the gods are staging their ritual.
Treviso does not need this troublemaker. This should be left to proper officials.
It very much concerns Rook. We have a contact who offers access to the Butcher and privileged information on the gods.
A chance to find your gods and to free the city. A prize for both our causes.
Both are important. Strong with the Crows, strong against the gods.
Someone else seems to think so. The contact knows the city and the Antaam.
How do you know it's for real?
They gave us patrol patterns. Dreadnought arrivals. Their information is real.
And you didn't share this with me?
People in this city continue to sicken and die. Do you not have other more pressing matters to attend to?
So where are we meeting?
Near the field hospital, where the market used to be.
And they ask for me, not you or Viago.
Even with what happened to Treviso, your fight against the gods is spoken of by many. You have respect, and no small admiration.
From who, though? That's the question.
What about the human help that Antaam was getting? You have any leads on that?
We continue what you started. The other Talons are turning over every stone.
You trust them? Not even your first Talon is safe from your infighting.
We are all Antivan Crows.
And yet those of us sworn to Treviso are beneath you.
I'll talk with this mystery contact.
And the rest of us will hope not to get caught in your crossfire again.
If we can remove the Butcher and weaken the Antaam, then perhaps Treviso can start to heal from the Blight. With luck, this informant is our key to that. Find them, Rook. Hear what they have to say. Our informant is near the field hospital, Rook.
They said you'd know them on sight.
Remember, there are injured people there. Don't damage anything.
Unknown contact. This is a trap.
We're fighting gods with the crows. I'm curious who would try to trap us. If our informant actually knows where Elganon and Gillinane are performing their next ritual, it's worth the risk.
You mentioned you don't sleep, Lucanus?
I try not to. Even less in Treviso.
But how do you stay awake? What do you do?
I clean my gear. Exercise. Work on my Orlesian vocabulary. Need.
Wait. The demon of Virantium lurks by night and knits?
What? It's just another kind of blade work. Dexterity training. Besides, good strangling cords cost a fortune these days.
Okay. Viago and Teia said our informant is somewhere in the market. Let's find them. I just hope their supposed information about the god's location is actually true.
Rook, I presume.
The Butcher!
There's no need for that. Treviso is the trap, not this meeting. Please. So tense. I promise, I'll signal when it's time to fight.
Strange way to ambush someone.
I don't have to ambush anyone. You think I couldn't just march on the crows? Scattered Antaam flock to me. I have the soldiers to raise your casino and every inch of this city.
But I'll bet there's no profit in actually winning.
There's money being made by the occupation, but not by me. I said Treviso was the trap, and I meant it. The Jewel of Antiva. She sings even while caged. Such purity in every stone. It's trapped my heart. I love this city.
You have a strange way of showing your affection.
I conquered it. I didn't betray it. Not like the cattle born here. You know there are traitors here. They ransom their own city. Literal gods stalk the land, but these filth worship their own purses. But you're different. You and the crows stay true to your roles. It means something when you die, and even more when you kill. You're as much a work of art as this city. And you want a secret from me.
You're not an end-of-the-world type. Are you with the gods or not?
The gods, they give strength. But all they ask in return is everything. I can feel their corruption. I can hear their whispers. They're calling for a ritual. If I give in, I'll know where you need to go. But I will lose my jewel. My city! So... you live in a casino. Let us make a game of this. I will become what the gods want. Welcome their whispers. Meet me and show me if the crows deserve my city.
Butcher was our contact, and he's letting himself fall to the Blight? Finish them off. We need to go after the Butcher. So the Butcher wants us to prove we're worthy of saving Treviso. That's what's happening.
By turning himself into a monster.
Everyone's acting like normal, like the Butcher hasn't gone nuts.
Who would believe it?
Safer to keep your head down, I guess.
Come. I wait among the drowned. Thoughts gnaw in my mind. I see what you need. Prove you deserve it.
Hear the shift in his voice? He's changing.
I see. My Treviso. Do not abandon you to the traitors who gave you to me.
There's the Butcher. He's a Reaver and fighting his own Antaam.
How are we gonna get information about the gods from that?
We have to hope he's still in there.
I see you, Rook, and I see the ritual. Act me, fight me, win this city! So beautiful, but not like Treviso. I see Tearstone Island! The ritual! Tearstone Island!
He's gone. And he named the ritual site Tearstone Island.
At least the Butcher wasn't lying.
Yeah, he's a prince among men. Least he gave us what we came for, though.
Yes, truly the Butcher was a paragon of honor and virtue, and we are all devastated to see him go.
Eventually.
And now you have a location for your final pointless confrontation. The gods are at Tearstone Island. Isn't that what you wanted? A chance to die a hero's death? So go. Leave Treviso to those who deserve it. What's left of it, anyways.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, Governor?
Oh, please, just say what you're thinking.
You sold Treviso out to the Antaam.
I did what I did to help this city, to save it, to keep my people from being slaughtered like cattle by the Antaam. And you let us suffer and sicken in favor of Minrathous. I gave up the Crows, you gave up the whole city. Treviso is dying, Rook, and its killer wears your face.
I've met some terrible people lately, even without counting Elganon and Gillinane. You're right up there in some pretty august company. What if Treviso's people could have fought back, could have rallied to the city's defense? But the Antaam kept them weak, let them die. That happened because of a choice you made. I live with the consequences of my decisions. Can you say the same?
You live with nothing, Rook! You have the luxury of distraction, of defining all your actions by the greater good. So take your team to Tearstone Island. Face Elganon and Gillinane, strike them down. Or don't. Either way, Treviso is dying. But it's still mine. Leave its funerary rites to one who cared enough about this city to make themselves its villain.
It makes sense now. Every decision they made shows it.
The governor betrayed us all. And for what? A city that is sick, and whose recovery will be measured in years.
I take it you heard? The Butcher's dead.
And in his place is the traitor we knew was lurking. And the Antaam fell in line?
Whatever the Antaam are looking for, Evenchi's giving it to them.
The Blight changes things. Even the Antaam fear it. The governor has given them a clear purpose. They were more cunning than I thought.
The lectures, the insults. Evenchi made sure all we saw was a hopped-up bureaucrat who was jealous that Treviso loves the Crows. If someone had told me Evenchi was in charge of the Antaam, I wouldn't have believed it. And yet...
Yes, but you have forced them into the open.
The hand that leashed Treviso. The Butcher was the mouth, but the hand was Evenchi all along. They think they have the power in the Antaam, and a network doing their will.
But we have the face of our enemy.
Evenchi will be hiding, so we will hound their Antaam and make them desperate.
When the governors show themselves again, we end this.
Evenchi keeps talking about restoring order and rebuilding Treviso. But what then?
I believe the good governor's plan was to risk the city to try and claim the nation. If the Antaam beheaded the Crows, who would merchant princes hire? Who would invaders fear?
As if the Antaam would fill that role. This was a bookkeeper's angry grab at power.
We'll stop Evenchi.
The gods. Did you learn where they will be?
Tearstone Island. Evenchi confirmed it before they left.
We know the time to face Elgar'nan and Gillenane approaches, but it will not take us long to find Evenchi.
If you truly want to help Treviso recover from the Blight, help us deal with the governor.
We'll let you know when we'll make our move. And after that, Treviso will be free.
How did no one see Evenchi's betrayal coming?
Perhaps they did. There's a difference between knowing and being willing to stand.
They were someone else's problem, and the city paid the price.
Did you hear? Darkspawn your daughter. If I'm not here tomorrow, you've probably got vast mystery. Secrets of the Viper. Reliable source.
Why don't you care about our city?
Because there's little I can do.
These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solas did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Elganon raised his archdemon. Solas got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vanan.
Elven for heart.
For my heart. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Did he try to get you to come with him on his quest to tear down the Veil?
No. In fact, he forbade me to join him. He said he didn't want me to see what he would become. But that wasn't quite the truth. He's a terrible liar.
He's the god of lies, Inquisitor.
Tricks and treachery, yes. Lies of the heart? No. He forbade me to join him because I might have changed his mind. And then he left enough clues for us to follow anyway.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solas. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes, that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
He really made you happy?
Yes. He really did.
Well, you deserve to be happy. As long as he's not, trying to tear down the Veil again.
That would put a dampener on things, yes.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about embarrassing Elganon in front of all his cultists.
I need to get the team around the table and talk about what's next.
Tearstone Island. That's where Elganon and Gillenane will perform their ritual.
With an eclipse, those two can finish their dagger, then tear open the Fade. After that, we've witnessed the horrors Gillenane creates with even a trickle of the Blight. What happens with a flood?
Next eclipse is a month away. That's not a lot of time.
Getting past the Antaam Navy won't be easy. They'll be on high alert. We'd need our own fleet to get past them, which we don't have.
A dozen ships, a dozen fleets. Would that really change the odds against Elganon and Gillenane? By all rights, we should already be counted out of this fight. But look at us. We've made it this far. No one quits.
Damn right, kid.
A single boat can sneak past a blockade. We just need to find something that floats.
The Antaam fleet may not spot us, but the gods see much farther.
Worse, they know about us specifically. They'll be waiting.
They're taking us seriously, which is flattering. And it can work in our favor.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Harding, reach out to our allies. Wardens, veil jumpers, all of them. Tell them to be ready to start swinging. We start enough fires, make some noise, and the gods will look everywhere for us, except at their front door.
It's worth a shot, but our allies aren't strong enough to fight a prolonged battle. We could be signing their death warrants, but it's the best plan we've got.
That takes care of the approach, but what about when we get there? We'll have 2 gods waiting. Who knows how many Antaam? We'll need to be at our best. Question is, are we there yet?
We've still too much unfinished business nipping at our heels. There's time before the next eclipse. It's best we use it.
I'll send off messages to our allies. They'll be ready.
Would Morrigan help? Could Morrigan help?
The world's ending. That's when Morrigan does her best work.
Great. Tell Morrigan the plan. See if the Inquisitors are willing to help us. I know she's busy leading the fight in the south, but she knows this blight won't end until the gods are dead. We're not ready, but we can be. Weeks until the next eclipse gives us time. Let's use it wisely.
Agreed.
Get some rest. Then we'll take care of outstanding business.
It worked. The Crows have harried the Antaam, and Evenchi is revealed. But I did not think this is what they planned.
It is bold, and it will doom us all. Rook, good. We have discovered what Evenchi is planning for Treviso. The Butcher was making Kamek. It's a poison that sedates people, warps their minds.
A large portion of his Kamek went missing. Would you like to guess the culprit?
Evenchi.
The governor intends to release it all around the city to pacify violent seditionists.
They called us reckless, and now... Now Evenchi will ruin the minds of thousands in this city to have their peace and order.
We know about it, and we'll stop it.
After the dragon attack, and then the blight... The governor is a coward who has given up on Treviso.
Better to poison the last of it themselves than let anyone else solve these things.
It is finally time to strike. Go to the garrison and prevent Evenchi from releasing the Kamek.
Once you are there, Teia and I will lead the Crows against the rest of Evenchi's forces in the city.
Understood.
There is something else. Jacobus stormed off earlier. He did not look well.
Look out for him, would you?
Of course. We'll head to the garrison.
Do you think Evenchi would target the field hospital?
I would not put anything past them now.
I heard the butcher.
Hang on. There's the garrison.
You've been on.
Onto the garrison and the governor. The courtyard looks empty.
Thought we'd see Antaam. Where are the guards?
Evenchi must be further in. We clear the garrison this time. Evenchi's got to know there's no way out for a traitor.
Look! Intruders! Calm down. We can escape across the roofs.
Nice run!
The garrison has fallen to darkspawn!
That explains why Evenchi's Antaam were trying to run. Evenchi's blighted. Wait! Jacobus! Good job!
The crows always get their...
Okay, now for Avenchi.
Both of them. Something's wrong. Something in the air.
Wait! Are these Antaam real?
I see the comic is working. That's all you want! It won't end any differently! Why don't you die? Why don't you give up? If that damned dark spawn at the gates hadn't scratched me, blighted me, if you hadn't interfered,
it wouldn't have made a difference.
neither will my death. My comet could have helped stabilize the city, but it's still blighted, dying. Nothing can save Treviso now.
We just stopped the governor from poisoning people. That's a start.
I did it to protect the city!
You did it because you wanted it for yourself. You say you did all this for Treviso, eventually, to protect it. But you never really believed in it.
What would you know about the city I love?
If Rook hadn't stopped the governor in time.
None of that. It is time to celebrate a victory.
Rook! I should have wine. We should toast you.
Evenchi is dead. The comic is being disposed of. All thanks to you.
The garrison's a mess.
Details.
The Antaam remain, though with Evenchi gone, I think we will be able to persuade them to move on in the coming months.
People are being moved to safer areas outside the Blight. Crows have time now to patrol for Darkspawn.
It will take years, but we can plan for Treviso's future now that it has one.
Treviso would have fallen long ago if it really didn't have a chance.
I'm not so sure. A city is only as healthy as those who care for it.
You never gave up, Rook. We will repay that in full. But life is so dull if all we talk about are responsibilities. It is time to celebrate.
For our victory.
For Treviso's freedom.
For the Crows.
What an excellent idea. Viago, dear, you mentioned something about getting us drinks?